light brown material coming down the face of this pile of rock.
Now, but sorry, I forgot if you responded. Did you want to get a ship move in?
It's going to make sense soon, certainly.
Yes. I'm more comfortable moving forward than I was.
So this looks like more intact,
So should we go on
fractured or
serious
jointed
heading?
rock.
Going on this.
20 meters?
But this material you see on the surface is
that, toward the
definitely
waypoint you want? That'd be fine with me.
encrusting it. And it looks like it may have
There is a
oozed out
pretty
onto
hard
the
return about 20 meters out, but
oozed out onto
think
the
that's probably not
seafloor
not
beneath
anything
the
severe.
outcrop.
Just the slope.
All the way in.
yeah. Okay,
Maybe 15 if you want.
Though it could be
I'm all right.
biological
20
mat,
meters,
microbial
358.
mat.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can zoom all the way in. if you want.
Roger. What do you think,
Bridge
folks,
nav.
shoreside? Do you think this is bacterial mat or chemical deposit?
Move
Looks
please.
chemical to me.
20 meters,
Certainly
bearing
isn't
355,
fluffy.
zero
No,
decimal
it's,
two
it's
knots.
looking more chemical to me. There might be that little bit of crustiness.
Good copy, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, pilot. That looks good.
Full wide. Thank you.
Yeah, that looks more
I
mineral
think
than
you need to
biological.
give you some
Yep.
Heather getting jerked around a little.
I think so, too. Just wanted to let the biological people have a chance.
Oh no, there's plenty of tether. I don't know what that was.
Okay, well, we'll just push up this pile here.
Yeah, I think if we could go up this mound, let's see if there's anything on top of it that's doing anything exciting.
We are certainly going up.
I'm hauling in pretty much full speed.
You're on mute. You're on speaker and mute. There you
Oh,
go.
thank you. There are cracks and lots of joints in this as we go up. We're getting close to the top of this thing. You can see on the right-hand upper corner, and you can see further in the distance here. So our intention on this part of the dive was to follow this ridge as far up as we could get here. And waypoint 7 is up at about 370 or so meters on the ridge. Now we can see both sides of this. sloping down to the left and to the right and below us. The material on the surface is more broken up.
I'm going to turn to the left.
And there's a
Get better
lot
traffic.
of red-brown staining on the left-hand side of the screen around this massive lava. I see a fish off there on the left. Two fish, says Tina. And one on the upper right that maybe we can get a closer look at. If we could go follow that fish for a bit.
I think that move's done.
Take a look.
Great.
A lot of that red-brown staining on the rocks up here. I'm guessing
This
it's
is right,
likely
like
iron.
Still
iron
a bit out
staining.
ahead of me, and it
Hydrothermal.
looks like nothing ahead except the slope.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of fish. But they don't
Yeah,
want to stay
There he
around.
goes. Not sticking around. Got it spick and taken.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. So as you can see, as we go up here, we're seeing more and more of this red-brown staining in the cracks of the rocks, but now also on the fine sediments on the
The
right-hand side of the
Problem
screen.
with that is the tether
There's a
is
little yellow
very
patch
long now.
that may be of warmer
Maybe I could do
material
do something with the swing arm lights instead.
coming out of a warmer
Yeah,
vent.
and we're up around that upper limit of the towards the top of the yep, towards the top there.
We are
But
on the
definitely
crest of the
that
ridge,
that ridge, yeah.
but we're not at the top
Not
of it yet.
quite.
To light
Yeah,
the
we've got
ROV.
about
Got it.
Another
10, 20, 30, 35
Yeah,
meters or
really, I
so.
think the terrain here is just a little too unpredictable and
Les Watling is thinking that the water is too warm for this depth.
yeah.
Some mesophotic divers, mesophotic
this
reef
might not be
divers
the
in
dive
his
to get
lab
that on,
report
I'm afraid.
water temperatures of Pohnpei not that far away at 13 degrees C at 150 meters. So maybe it should be about 9 degrees here at the most. So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, all of these bacterial mats suggest that there must be diffusive seep
Yeah,
of warm
absolutely.
water. Yep.
Well, I get the impression coming up this ridge that this was a dike that was intruded into the side of the summit cone at some time in the past, and that the volcano itself, oh, there's one of those bottom fish. Yummy.
Oh, is that the Onaga?
I think
The
so.
Onaga.
We're going to hear from somebody on shore as soon as they see it.
Oh, yeah, Bruce or Chris for sure.
But certainly, just looking at the bottom, there's so much more.
Yeah, and Bruce, because he's at a disadvantage over there at IRC with his slower speed. So.
Yep.
I was just going to keep going.
Oh, there he is again. Let's take a look at the fish. if
Oh,
we can.
wow. Is it?
Two of them.
Is it an Onaga?
There are two of them here.
There's silvery earth.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, to me it looks more silvery too. It doesn't look as red.
Oh, they were pink when they were closer. They have kicked up some
Sediments?
sediment
Well,
from the
yeah.
sediment cloud.
Top to the left.
They're
They're moving
Oh.
fast. They're pink on the top and silvery
Silver.
on the bottom.
I'm not going to be following that.
Chris,
huh?
what do you...
yeah.
Oh, look
There
at
you
it.
go.
Very
Wow,
Wow.
that's so accommodating.
Yeah,
That's right.
really pink. These are the same guys we saw earlier.
That's the way we're going to photograph them. They're just going to walk into the camera.
That's true. So the top of this ridge is
What were
just
you going to say, Bruce?
definitely Onaga.
Say that the
Yes.
long
We probably need to
trailing,
chase you a little bit.
sort of filamentous
Oh, yes, please do.
ends of
Yeah,
the tail
that's fine.
fin, the caudal fin.
So the
are
current
one of the
heading,
key things to identify
33
Onaga.
330 maybe.
There are similar snappers that don't have those long lobes on the tail fin. So that's a
30
definite
meters.
identifying character
Yep,
for this
that's good.
species. One interesting thing is on submersible dives,
Bridge
when we've
nav.
gone down and looked at these, you're turning the lights out and just looking at ambient
Move please,
light.
30 meters, bearing
We're at now.
335,
You can see the fish.
0.2 knots.
You don't see the red color because red looks dark at night, so they just sort of look gray. But those
long tail
Yes,
lobes
please.
are darker and look almost black in natural light. So it's definitely a visual signal that these fish could use to recognize others of their own species. And it's quite striking when you see these at the ambient light levels in their natural habitat. They're quite beautiful, even when you can't see the red or pink color.
Thanks, Bruce.
I'm just sorry that I'm not going to be able to spend any time in Hawaii when I return back home so that I could go and have some of this at a restaurant. Because Chris has been just raving about what a
Naga
delicacy
is
this
delicious.
is.
Yeah, the part of the ridge we just covered
I'm
over.
not going to pick up your bill. It's too expensive.
I saved my money.
We could save a lot of money
My
just
mom gave
sampling
me
with the
money
vehicle.
for dinner for a special occasion.
Somehow I don't think that would be cheaper.
Eel
there's a
sticking its
fish
head out of
that's
the
just-
rock straight ahead.
Okay, eel sticking its head
Go
out of the
ahead, Tara.
rocks. Yep, straight ahead.
There we go.
Nice.
Yep, looks like it's a moray.
He's looking at us. Who are you? He says. Do not like you. There is a snail right next to his head, too. A snail shell.
Yeah,
Not sure what's in it.
No, looks like
I don't see any hermit
you don't
crab
see any
legs.
Legs. You're seeing some hydroids on the rocks as well. And are there octocorals over there?
Do you see coral?
Well, no, I don't think so. It was probably just an illusion.
Hydroid. Lots of hydroids.
So, Bruce, the rounded snout, does that not lead you to echidna, or are you thinking are there multiple genera that have got that rounded snout?
Yeah, maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit too much by guessing
Nice,
at
Tara. Very nice.
genus. I don't. Well, it could be echidna. The gymnothorax have the sharp-pointed teeth. You should see those, and I don't see them.
Off he goes.
On the other hand, I don't know. Are
There
there
was something
echidna
else that was
deep down at
trying to
just
look
above him.
I
Okay.
wasn't aware
I think
of
we're
any.
trying to look at the snail.
Oh,
The,
Roger,
I mean,
great.
sorry, the
Yeah.
That's what I
shell
know.
now.
That's why it
See
was
what
pretty
the
interesting.
see what that shell is.
Oh, yeah, it's right below your lasers, I think.
Ideally,
Yep.
getting a closer view of the head, if it doesn't go up, it's coming way Okay, I guess we won't know.
Open for the next 10 minutes. Come down and play for your chance to win 25% off.
Okay.
Of your choice. The first 2 customers win a prize.
Okay, we're zooming in on this gastropod, and then after that we're going to go up, actually up in the middle of the screen right now, moving towards the center. It's at 3 o'clock. There's looked like I got to look at the gastropod first.
Okay. Take
Okay.
a bit more zoom.
There you go.
Little orange guy. There's something over there
Sorry.
in the out of focus that's orange,
okay.
too.
Now she's moving over. They want to do the gastropod, but then I want to look at that.
We're seeing some sediment being washed across by the propellers of the ROV.
You can tell the current's picking up again.
I don't think that's the propellers.
So what is it?
Gastropod.
Ha ha, thank you, Shirley.
Polychaete tubes. Okay, so what are those things over to the left that look like they have polyps on them?
White.
Is it
Like right there?
like right there? Yeah.
Go ahead, full zoom. Tara.
Oh,
That's full.
That is full zoom.
There's full zoom.
I think that's a coral.
They're just tiny.
Well, I don't know.
There's a fish.
Thank you,
Oh,
fish.
thank you, fish.
That's very nice. No, they're strung out along some.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a stolen that they're strung out along, but
It does. Looks like those
Tina, are
little-
these the things you think are polychaete tubes?
If you go full
Because
wide,
it
I'll
looks
try
like
to
it's
get there.
stoloniferous, because there's another one over
Alright,
to
guys,
the
we're
right,
gonna have, Don
right as well.
jump in
Yes,
as
yay.
co-pilot.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Understood.
stoloniferous coral.
Oh, okay. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I shall continue on.
Excellent.
Well,
Rearranging the geology a little bit.
Looks like one of those fish is
Oh,
just
yeah.
to the top.
Oh, yeah.
Different fish.
Different fish. Okay, quick zoom. in there.
Co-pilot, tilt down. Just on your main
Yep,
video,
I
please.
got you one. Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies.
Hello, Don.
Hi, Don.
Hello, Jeff. Hello. Watch leads.
And he's out.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
quick fish.
Oh, ship move looks to be finished.
All right, and Don, you're looking like almost straight down at me, right?
Yep, just about. Just
Okay.
move the camera down that way. Oh, yeah, almost. Yep.
I'll
So,
keep pushing up this little ridge right here. And
Okay,
then
which
we'll
direction have we been moving now?
go- like 336.
About on your
more
heading.
solid mass
Okay.
of rock here in front of us,
336. Roger that.
and it is
We just finished to
all
move
covered
down
with
it
hydroids.
with the,
I think makes it have
waiting
this
till
sort
we
of
get to the search that
velvety
ahead.
appearance.
Okay, roger that.
So this is a older surface.
Temperature here is 13.85. We are at 371 meters.
I think there's a lot of diffuse warm water coming out of the cracks and all of the fractured rock that we're going over. Now these white things look like little corals to me.
You can zoom in on these.
Okay.
Find out.
Yeah, can we-
find out if I'm right if we go for a look?
Are
Yeah,
we just
watch the
talking about
pilot.
this?
That white Those white patches.
Oh, the
Right
white
side.
patches. Okay.
Large ones.
Yep.
All right.
Right, by
Yeah,
the lasers.
yeah, right by the lasers.
All right, Tara.
All right.
Nope.
Hold
Not
that,
coral.
please.
Now,
But if you do get,
bacterial.
yeah, you think? If you do get
Yeah, I
a
think
close
so.
zoom,
It's matte.
okay,
There they are. Okay, full wide.
Okay.
Moving on up.
not coral, but there is a star.
What is that?
Coronaster? Is that a
Maybe.
coronaster?
I don't know. Up in the upper right.
Looks
at
sort of
1
like
o'clock.
it. Yeah, 1 o'clock, right. I don't know if that's a stain or a coronaster
Or a matte.
or a mat. But we'll have a look. Closer we get, the more coronastery it looks to me.
Tara, zoom in with me.
Roger.
Oh yes, oh yes. As we get closer,
Sure.
that is what it is. Here we go again. There's so many of these here. And once again, like Chris Moss says, they nestle into the cracks in the rock.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
Go
nice
for one.
image. Thanks, pilot.
Beautiful.
Rubbly, we can see.
Oh, another
yep.
big one coming out.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We can see that this seafloor is very friable, easily disrupted, very rubbly.
So Bruce or Chris, how are these onaga caught? Are they caught on lines?
Yes, they're caught on lines. A lot of it's by hand
It does,
lining,
for sure.
sort of fishing from smaller vessels and using gurneys or electric reels or to drop lines down. Again, Chris knows much more about this than I do, so he'd be the better one to answer.
So
Yeah,
mostly
but
on
Chris
this
talks a
coming
lot
up.
on the audios. You could go ahead.
Well, except that
Are you feeling
my
much
title is
turning?
fishery biology.
It comes and
I
goes,
don't
and,
do the
yeah.
fishery
Look like
aspects of this. So again, I know that these fish, these snappers, are caught mostly by baited hooks on hand, what they call hand lines, but they're not really set by hand so much anymore. They're set with electric reels or these crank reels, and
Snap zoom
they're
orange
not
thing.
they are not caught by trawling or long lining or heavy duty industrial style fishing. So the fisheries is a little easier to manage that way in some
There
respects.
is a fish in the
There's less
crack.
habitat damage from the fisheries. Sounds like I need to go back and look at the screens again.
Thank you, Bruce.
This is columnar jointing, and we have ourselves a fish nestled in one of the cracks.
Scorpion fish, perhaps? Yep. Chris confirms. Scorpionid.
Okay, thank you, pilot. Oh, there seem to be several finding,
It's a big outcrop.
yeah, big outcrop of columnar jointed rock. I think this is all part of a dike system, all of this. And we're seeing intermittently collected rubble from blocks of this material that have fallen down the slope on either side of the ridge. On the left side of the screen, you can see like fingers coming up, and these are individual cooling joints that form when the magma cools underground. And very often those cooling joints are curved as the rock cools. And we have another scorpion fish over on the right.
We do
Yeah.
indeed. And something else. What's that above it?
Look how narrow this ridge is.
Wow.
It looks as if the rest of the volcano on either side of it has just crumbled
Looks like
away.
it's about ready to topple over to the left.
A lot of people oohing and ahhing about that fish over there. I don't
Yeah.
know if there'd be a chance to swing over and do a snap zoom.
Go ahead and ask.
Okay, watch lead pilot. Any way we can sidle over to the right and take a look at that
Kinda-
fish? It's a little bit below
Kind of
us.
angle down.
Because the ear doesn't
I don't
move.
see it now.
Let's go see if we can find it.
I'm not sure that was the one.
Yeah, it wasn't the scorpion fish. It was
No.
above it.
It had a bluish hue to it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right. I've seen a few of those, so we have a chance of seeing another one.
Okay.
Okay, then
You think
pilot,
that
we
was a
can
grab-
continue up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm seeing some shimmery. Yeah.
It's been climbing.
Yeah, but it was more
So
like
are we.
Macrophthalmus or whatever the new name is for Macrophthalmus than one of the smaller ones. It was a big one with a dramatic tail.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought,
my.
too. I think over here in the Marianas it could be Macrophthalmus. The other name, Ambiortis,
Is that big eye?
could
Yeah.
be the population in the Hawaiian Islands.
No, I'm oohing and ahhing at the geology. Folks on shore can't see this yet, but there's a huge crack in the face of the outcrop that we're looking at, as if this upper portion to the left might just eventually tumble off and fall down the slope. Now there is a cornester,
yeah,
probably
got that
on the
cornester,
right hand
yep,
side.
Sure enough. there is.
Look how sweet.
Oh,
There's the
okay,
fish,
there's your fish.
on the left and swimming away. He's pretty quick. I don't think we can catch up to that guy.
And there's another one in the back over to the right as well.
Yeah, that's a different
yeah,
fish,
there's
though.
Maybe.
It's longer,
Oh, look
but
at
they're
them all.
There are a
much.
lot of fish over there.
you go.
Let's go fishing.
Okay, there's one of those bluefish that's in the hole there, the real
Okay.
pretty ones. You can sort of see them already.
Bluefish
And
in
there's
hole.
a stripy one.
Four
Going
fish.
That way, maybe. Come on, not.
Yeah, we see it. We're headed that way. And the horizontal cracks that we see above the fish really are indicative that this feature that we're looking at is a igneous intrusion called a dike, a vertical igneous intrusion. So it's more resistant. When the lava cools underground, it loses most of it's gas, and therefore can be more massive and can remain coherent as the rest of the volcano just falls away to either side, as it's doing. Look at the fish.
Let's go. Partial.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Wonder
Oh,
fish.
my gosh, look how pretty. What
They
is that?
are
Purple and
beautiful. Look at
yellow?
the
Oh, my
tail.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen any shimmering water? For a while ago, I thought I saw some, but my video is not clear enough to know for sure.
Well,
I'm
it's,
looking at the temperature plot, and it just jumped way up.
yeah, it's
Indeed. Yep. Actually,
15.27.
yeah, there seems to be some shimmering water within the jointed rocks that are part of this dike.
That little pink one seems to be chasing the lasers.
Now, where is the one with the long decorative tail?
He went
Is
down
it
to
still
the
further
right
up?
somewhere.
Down to the right,
Yeah, he
okay.
ran away. Is that full wide?
Nope.
Oh,
nope,
there we
it's
go.
partial.
There we go.
I don't see him anymore.
Yeah, he ran away down to the...
Oh, wait, there's
there
a
it
tail.
is. Stuck underneath that little column there on the right.
That's adorable.
He's hiding. He can't see me, therefore I
trying to
can't
pretend
see
that-
him.
The rock fell on him.
Okay, if you could start to zoom in on him, I'll try to get in on that.
Roger.
You can see its tail underneath a loose columnar jointed block.
This is invisible.
Do we have a name for the fish with the long
Ed.
frilly tail?
Yeah, it's a Grammy or a Grappo, Grammatinotus macrophthalmus, and for
Beautiful.
all that we know, this could be a mature adult male with the long tail, so we don't know much about these. They're different ecologies. So, seeing three different types of sort of perch-like fishes in this area: the Epigonus, a little deep-water cardinal fish, the pinkish or reddish boat fishes with the bars behind the head, and then this
carry
Grammatinotus,
on
which is really a spectacular fish.
Right.
Oh, there's another.
Just a little side note, he's too modest to mention this, but it was Bruce Mundy himself who actually discovered the Hawaiian version of this fish in
Wow, look at that.
Hawaii. No one knew it existed there before until Bruce was on a submersible dive and spotted
Should I
one.
give it a little push?
Yeah, sure, that
What
doesn't
we're
look like
seeing
it would
in the
take
screen
much.
right now is a beautiful exposure of a curving series of columnar joints that just wrap right around the center of a jumble of other joints. And there's a bunch of the fish hiding in the crevices between the rocks. These fish must really like these hidey holes. There's a whole school of them on the right now that are zooming about. You'll see them in just a second. There must be 25 or 30 of them just darting around.
Is that
Beautiful
the
geology, beautiful fish.
yellow and
What
purple
more could
one
you
hiding?
ask for?
I think right under your left skid. The yellow, the one that we were chasing.
All of
is,
these
Oh.
fishes are slope
laying there.
fishes. The Sympathetodon,
I'll have to back up
out of the screen.
Mauna
Yeah, it's okay.
named after Mauna Loa volcano on the Big Island.
Huh,
First
wow.
time described were found floating off of a lava flow. We think it's that species. There are related species in other oceans that look quite similar, so there's always a possibility that this could be a similar but undescribed species. It looks like Sympathetodon Mauna Loa.
Don't see
Need
it
ready for a
anymore.
move?
Oh, it's a little further. Filters.
Yeah.
Pan back just a hair. It's a. Oh, there he is, right there. Coming out. Just. Okay. Is that the same one?
I don't see
Never
it.
mind. It's all right.
Okay.
He came out and went back into a different hole.
Okay.
Thank
Lots
you, though.
of fish there, though.
Yes, we certainly have plenty to look at.
Okay, so
Sort of stretched out. I'm thinking might be time for another move.
sounds good. That,
So it looked like one of the rocks moved when they touched it. Could this whole pile
yeah.
just come tumbling down if they bump against it?
They do dislodge a lot of the material, yes. So the finer material is
Bridge
pretty
nav.
loose.
It's like ultimate giant
Yeah,
Jenga.
move please. 20 meters, bearing 335 degrees, 0.2 knots. Good copy, thank you.
This is not one we'd want to poke.
No, we do not want to poke this stuff.
It's really like a road.
yeah, I'm just
It
following
was
this
interesting to
sign.
see such a large group of those slope fishes in one area.
Yeah.
Some of the submersible dives
Thank you, Bridge.
in Hawaii, we see dozens or even hundreds of those in bottom types that have lots of holes for them to hide in. Nothing like what we just saw, though. I don't remember seeing anything like that type of feature in Hawaii.
That's slow enough.
Just gave him 20
So
meters.
we're heading up the slope. We are only about 10 meters from the summit of this part of the ridge, I think.
Yeah, we're actually very close to
Headed
waypoint 7, aren't we?
Yeah.
we're just
Close
at
to waypoint 7, yeah.
yeah waypoint 7. We're just a little bit west of waypoint 7.
If I were to-
Really narrow ridge. It's interesting. It has a lot of volcaniclastics on it right now, and or an accumulation, possibly, of hydrothermal debris.
I think waypoint 7 is actually out there in midwater somewhere.
I think you're right.
Because I'm like right on top of it on high pack here.
Yeah, I think
Let's call this waypoint 7.
I think this is waypoint 7, and I think what we want to do is turn a little bit to our port
Okay.
and continue up the ridge.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah,
It's actually down,
follow
down
the yellow
ridge at
brick
this
road,
point,
our
right?
nav says.
I can see it going uphill again just here.
Oh, beyond, there, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there's
Just
another
got a little bit of the saddle, though.
A little bit of a saddle, and then there's a very strong reflection in the sonar right in front of us. And you can kind of see it dimly in the background that
Can
the slope is going to
get
go
ahead,
up
or
pretty steeply
am I
again.
stretched out, Don?
No, you can go a little ahead. I don't think you got a whole lot right now.
All right.
So we're up about 4.5
catching
meters
up.
off the sea floor right now as we go over this narrow part of the ridge toward that quite impressive structure. Let us see what it is.
Looks like a rhinoceros head on the left.
Might,
A rhinoceros head on the left.
Yeah,
might move another 20 meters. I'm about to finish this.
I think that's a good idea, Jim.
It does look like a rhinoceros
It
head.
does indeed.
340 maybe.
Yeah,
Mouth's
just keep,
open.
just keep the ship moving. Yeah.
All right, we have a little bit less than 2 hours to go on this really interesting dive.
Incredibly diverse geologically
nav.
Yeah,
and
biologically as well. It's
Yeah.
Bridge.
very
You know,
So we'd like
I
to
think
keep this
this is
move
hydrothermal
going another 20
construction.
meters, please.
Look at the nature of this. Very oh yeah. Oh,
chimney-like.
I think we are at a chimney, what used to be, at least this part of it's not active. But our temperature has dropped.
Patty.
I think, yeah. So Bill's agreeing. He thinks this is chimney construction. This is definitely a hydrothermal feature.
Perfect, thank you.
Let's see if there's any action at the top of it.
Shimmering water to the right.
There's some shimmering water to the left.
Tiny vent, it looks like.
Let's see if the temperature goes up. Yeah, I heard you, Bill.
There it is.
Little dark hole, yes.
There it is.
Let's try to get over toward the shimmering water. I can't quite tell. I can't quite
we
see
can
where
see
it
it
is.
right in the middle. It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle, Patty.
You mean
see
where
it.
that
the lasers
orifice
are.
is?
Right where
Yeah.
the lasers are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the middle.
Okay, I got it.
Consider.
Right where the lasers are, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
So my guess is it's coming out of that hole
Yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah, the
just
hole,
below
yeah,
the
yeah,
lasers.
yeah, right next to the lasers. Oh
And-
yeah, right. Oh yeah, right below them.
Yep,
too.
yep.
Mind
Oh,
if I
so there's
zoom
more
on
water
the-
coming out all over the place. I don't see the,
It's
well, we're not close enough yet for the thermometers on the vehicle to register it, but we'll get there. It's coming up
Is it
and
okay
going
to zoom
off
by
to
it?
the left. Is that right, folks?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's coming out of that hole. Wonder if we could probe that hole with the temperature probe.
See
And
if I can
very
get-
carefully.
Let's see if I can get a toe hold here. That's
Okay.
Okay, Roger.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We're going to get a zoom
Yeah,
image
it's kind
of this
friable.
first.
Look at that, how it's kind of crumbly. It's crumbly.
Yeah, it is pretty crumbly.
Josh was doing it just with the XY the other day.
Maybe
I
we'll
don't think there's anything under me to XY on. There's
You're
just,
hanging out in the breeze there.
yeah.
So you can watch the
What we ought to do is
debris
mount that
being
probe out on one of these
blown
boxes
to
and
the
just fly
left
into it.
by the fluid coming out of this hole. So it's not obscuring the hole, which is fortunate, despite the fact that we're really plowing into the side of the
Yeah.
hill here.
He's trying to get a toe hold.
I know.
Yeah.
I
You
know.
can see I can only get one toe down
That's
because
right.
the ridge is so narrow.
Yeah, ridge really
So
is
I come
narrow.
around that way.
Not
So is
really,
the water
not
coming
really.
out of the kind of dark area? inside
It
the
is.
bright laser beam? Or is it
Exactly.
coming out of the black little hole above that?
No, it's coming out of the hole just above the right laser beam. Well, we can see it pretty clearly. Yeah, we
Should
can see
move,
it.
should be just finishing.
Okay. Watch lead, I can't really get a good stable hold right here.
Is it
Okay,
here
pilot.
for
Okay.
all the
Mind if
other
we just
stuff
did a
or
snap
power?
zoom?
Do you want
Do
to
you
move
want
it
to-
around to the
hydraulics.
right?
Oh. All
Yeah, why
right.
don't you
Right,
just
of
zoom in
course.
from here for a
Okay.
little bit,
Okay.
just
Go
to
ahead,
let us
Tara.
take a look,
Sure.
and then do what you need to do.
Go ahead and zoom in, Tara.
Roger.
I'll try to rotate a little bit. Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, that's nice. Can we tilt up just a touch?
Yeah, Don, would you take my camera tilt, please?
See on shore, can you see
You're
that
right here. Yep, that one.
shimmering coming
Press
out of
and
that
hold.
hole? It's kind of tough with the cloud, but
And now you can
I
tilt
think
up
that's
a
where
little
it's
bit.
coming out.
Thank you. Right there.
Yeah, where the laser is
Okay,
just
Roger.
beaming. You
Yeah,
can see
Nav,
above it as
we're
well.
gonna
Yeah,
stay
there's
here
another
for a
hole
while.
above it.
You want to stop
Yes.
the ship?
Not so much
Bring it
below
to an
that.
easy
The ship's just finishing a move.
Okay, roger that. All right. Then we're looking good.
Can we,
So it
can we go a little bit lower?
looks to us on the ship as if there is kind of a crack above the hole that the laser beam was in, and the fluid is coming out of that crack all the way up in the field of view. And I think you're right. I think, Bill, you said earlier that you thought maybe there was fluid coming out of the hole in the upper right, so close to the top of the screen, but to the right of the cloud of dust. And I can see shimmering water up there as well. And you can see a stain right below that hole that suggests that there's a bacterial mat that has grown
try to
over
zoom on
where
the mat over.
fluid's been coming out.
Just right of center. Oh,
Levi, do you hear
never
me?
mind.
No,
Sorry.
that's not going to work.
Can you
Oh,
check who's
I'm
relieving
slipping.
me and see if you see them around? I don't remember who it is,
You're
but I got to
full.
get the operations meeting.
Okay. Yeah, watch lead, it just wasn't amenable to getting a good purchase there in order to
So
deploy
there's
the arm.
no vent animals in sight, right? We're just seeing shimmering, no animals on it, on the deposit.
Oh, great. We have relief here.
Yeah, but this is a really big structure, though, boy. It must have been pumping when it was active.
Hey.
How are conditions looking, pilot?
Nice. Really nice. Well, it's going great.
We have lots of shimmering in the water, which is an indication of temperature change. Right now, the temperature around us is at 14.27, so
Go bridge.
Warmer than what we would expect at this depth, which is 349 meters.
Yeah, sure. We got some time.
So, Tara, there was a question about why do we want to take the temperature at the vent? So we're going to ask Tara Harmer-Luke to chime in on this. She's a deep sea biologist from Stockton University in New Jersey.
From the geology and chemistry side, you know, it tells you something about what the likely chemistry of the fluid might be, and a lot of times if you're sampling, you want to take the temperature of lots of different vents because you're trying to have one in the area.
Yep, Tara, you're on the line now.
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hi, Tara. Remember yesterday when we took the temperatures and you were saying, you know, because we were thinking, oh, it should be like way hotter than it was, and you explained that even the temperature difference that we were seeing of just a few degrees is a big deal. Anyway, why for those who are of the non-scientists, why would we be interested in taking temperatures at these vents?
Sure. So hydrothermal vents, of course, occur when you have superheated water that is coming out. Basically, you know, with the I don't need to explain the geology. I'm sure the geologists can do that. But basically, this superheated water is coming out of the rock, out of these chimneys, and inside the chimneys, it's going to be like 300 degrees or 200 degrees Celsius, really warm.
Pilot, your
But the
CTDs
ambient
are reading
water temperature is
14.7.
about 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, typically in deep water. And as soon as
Interesting.
that
Yeah, I think I'm over some warmer water. Yeah, I saw a bit of shimmer in a second.
into the larger
So
cold,
generally we're heading north, so I can just
seawater,
move out of here a little bit.
it cools down really quickly.
Northeast.
And even if you're only a few centimeters away, you end
335, I
up
think, was
with
the last
a
jump.
drastic temperature drop.
It looks
So
like they were
if
moving
the
at
outside
335.
seawater is 4 degrees,
Okay, looks like
and you
lower
get
swing
10
arms are
degree
out,
water
uppers
or
are
15 or
stowed.
20 degree
My
water
bailout is set
coming
to
out of those vents,
110 right now.
clearly
Let's
you're
see
getting
if that's...
hydrothermal fluid and hydrothermal
Are y'all
mixing.
still okay
And the material
with that? I mean,
in
it
that
is... Yeah, it's down
fluid
It's away from everything.
that contains hydrogen
right now.
sulfide and things.
Ship is putting in a
is
heading
able
change
to provide
right now.
food for chemosynthetic
Don't
organisms, for bacteria.
believe
They can
they're
use
quite
that
done with
instead
that.
of sunlight
Okay.
to produce food.
Well, I'm gonna, let's see. Yeah, your camera angle's pretty far down.
You
so
got
I'm gonna
it.
Thanks,
try to
Tara.
scoot ahead.
Push ahead a little bit.
First, I'm gonna,
maybe.
I'm gonna shake a little right here before I push ahead. Try to get some of this dust off me.
I wonder if her question
You want your res
was
bumped up
like
to
the other
medium?
day we sampled at multiple
No,
vents.
that's okay. I like it to be a little faster.
Sampling
Okay.
multiple vents. So if you find one vent that's at 45 and the other vent is at 10 or 15, what does that tell you? What information does that give you?
Well, that depends if you're measuring at the same position from the orifice.
Yeah.
Again, if you're measuring 10 centimeters above the orifice
that should
or
help with
15
the
centimeters
dust.
above the orifice, you're going to get different temperature readings. But the hydrothermal fluid will come out at different temperatures initially based on how hot the magma is,
So
the
visibility is
magma
not
chamber
great.
below.
We are kind of in an ideal
and that
flying.
is going
And
to
actually, you're
affect
kind of high
things
up
like
there.
the types of minerals that you're going to find in that
We
fluid.
got more tether now, though. So it's like
Other things that can cause those differences would be depth.
Yeah, when I was flying this morning, it was just kind of.
So on.
Yeah, try coming down a couple meters.
All right.
Thank you,
Keep it
Tara.
around 20 delta Z.
As long as you can see that football and you know your tether's not going above
Patty
you,
started
I mean, you can
to
come
comment
down.
about those two structures over on the right looking like a wasp's nest or a hornet's nest.
That's what I thought. Yep.
Watch lead pilot.
Bill would like to get a close look at the rock and the deposits.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a new front row here.
Video switching out.
Yes, thank you. If you would introduce yourselves, that'd be great.
So we're all engineers from the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration. I'm Carl McCletchy, the pilot. On my left, I'm Andy Lister in Navigator. And on my right,
Don Libertori, co-pilot trainee.
And then way over on the right
is Roland.
Video engineer Roland Brown.
And in the back row, hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, well, Dan never introduces the people in the back row, so I thought it was
Dan's
his turn.
never in the back row, so, yes, he is. Sometimes when he's on the other side. What are you doing over there? You're in the video clipper position.
A man
You're
of
everywhere,
many
right?
talents.
He is everywhere. I'm Shirley Pomponi. I'm a biology science lead, and I'm from Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute, Florida Atlantic University. And to my left is
Patty Fryer, who is the geo-bi lead, and I'm from the University of Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology on Oahu.
And as we zoom in to get a closer look of this rock deposit.
I want to look at this rock.
Yep. Just
Do you
reminding
want to
everyone.
zoom in on the surface here?
This is a hydrothermal deposit on a very narrow ridge that is part of the Ifuku Seamount. We're looking up close to the summit, but we have found in this part of the dive.
Keep on going in all the way.
Initially, as we started climbing up here, we found very diffuse emanations of warm fluids from the seafloor, and now we're sitting on what looks like a construction of deposits from warm water venting on the
Slowly
seafloor
work down here.
related to the movement of seawater inward into the volcano and then being moved up vertically after it contacts the warm magma body inside of the structure. So we see a lot of orifices here. These are all holes out of which warm fluids are coming.
Co-pilot, will you put lasers on?
Lasers off?
Lasers on. Thank you.
Roger, got him.
And this is a pretty big structure. We've been looking at this for some minutes now.
Go ahead, Bridge.
We are aboard the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer, America's ship for ocean exploration, and we are coming to you live. We have about another, what time is it? 2:30, 3:30, about an hour and 45 minutes left in this dive.
Okay.
And I'd like to go tight on that nobule.
This mission is designed and supported by NOAA's Office of Ocean Exploration and Research.
A nobule, huh?
The ship is operated by NOAA's Office of Marine and Aviation
Top center?
Operations.
Yep, center
And this
now.
expedition is part of a 3-year campaign to address the Pacific monument science, technology, and ocean needs.
Modify and try to show it.
Other NOAA partners are National Marine Fisheries Service, Marine National Monuments Program, Deep Sea Coral Research and Technology Program, and NOAA's National Center for Environmental Information, as well as we just heard from the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration, and the many partners we have online in our chat room, our scientific partners who are participating in this expedition. These include University of Hawaii, University of New Hampshire,
We're showing more movement in the tether than
University of Guam.
University of Guam and Underwater World, Guam. University of Louisiana.
You need movement in the ROV from the tether?
Let's see, who else do I have here? Tara Luke from Stockton University in New Jersey. Bill Clancy from the Institute for Human and Machine Cognition. Asako Matsumoto from the Chiba Institute of Technology in Japan. And Tina Molitsova from the P.P. Shirshov Institute in Russia.
Which will give a nice overview of the area.
And the thing is that, you know, we've got all of these folks working with us while we're out here. It's just Shirley and me as the science leads. And this is very different from the usual expeditions that we've been on. Normally we go to sea with 20 scientists or so on a ship.
But kind of all focused on one, like looking at just a few scientific questions, not a broad, like there, you would.
So
well, the deal is that we would
east,
never be able to be funded by our normal funding agencies to go to sea and explore.
Yeah.
We have to write proposals that are driven by our hypothesis about a particular thing that might be going on, a process or a type of biological community, and that is what drives our normal research. But the only way that we can find out something brand new and bump start an entire field of exploration would be to go out and discover something completely new. And that's the opportunity that this expedition affords the scientific community. So a whole community of scientists got together initially and discussed what might be reasonable targets to look at out here in the Mariana Trench National Marine Monument, and we discussed what might be priorities for individuals. Then people submitted individual proposals for how to approach many of those things we decided together would be good ideas. And then we selected individual dives from each of those proposals that were submitted and put together this leg of this expedition.
Right, and not only the scientific questions that we wanted to address, but also to address the needs of the resource managers, because this is part of a national marine monument. And the resource managers are tasked with better understanding these deepest parts of our marine monuments, so that they can better manage them. And you heard Chris Kelly talking about some of the priorities in terms of resource management for commercial fisheries, both fish and precious coral. So. And there was some interest, for example, in deep sea mining. So we really need to know what's out here so that we can better manage these resources.
I guess it was just that shape.
Look at the delicate structures that are forming around these vents. What happens at hydrothermal systems is that they are episodic in the nature of their activity, and they also are episodic in terms of volume of fluid that may come out. So over time, the nature of the activity at a given vent can vary tremendously. It can vary in temperature, can vary in volume of fluid that is coming out, and also in composition of material.
Soft this is if you.
The composition generally is related to the temperature, as we heard a little earlier. That the composition of materials that are deposited changes as the temperature changes. But right now, with a close-up on this, you can see a very sort of velvety surface
pile of ash
on the seafloor. Oh, we have such wonderful video here. We can see some sort of soft, almost feathery-like material, probably is bacterial mats, I'm told, by my bio friend here. And she's going,
yes,
as she's writing rapidly, and, you know, asking people on shore what we might be looking at.
Shoot forward.
And it's almost like if you were at the beach and you were picking up wet sand and making a drip castle on the beach when you're a little kid, or for your own kids.
That purple thing is first.
That is sort of what goes on here, almost like stalagmites growing up.
You know what, though, as we're looking at these cameras that are on the the lower part of it shimmering, and it looks more white than yellow.
A lot of the surface stuff looks white. I think that
Yeah.
is more recent bacterial mat.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't know if this chimney might come back to life.
Oh yeah, there's some
sometime in the
shimmering right
future.
there. Yeah.
And what is the purple thing?
Well, it's incredibly
kind of
small.
like
Like it might be a
left-hand side.
looks like it might be a gastropod.
Okay, little snail. You see wafting of sort of waving in the water,
Go
and
ahead and tilt
that's
down so
because
you
the
can find the
refractive
source.
index of water changes as temperature changes, so it makes the camera collect an image that kind of looks wavy. That's what we're calling shimmering.
Looks like it should be the source, but it's not. I'll keep going.
Very complex structures in these little fingers that grow out
I think
from
it's just too
individual
diffused.
vents.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sirius is underway. Ready for me to hop ahead?
Very delicate structures. So these will be quite fragile.
All right.
Now, you
is that
know,
full wide?
last night when
That
you
is
were
full
looking
wide.
at that rock and you saw
you.
crystals on the surface, if you looked at this, would you expect to see crystals on the surface of this as well?
Actually, the crystals were inside the rock when it broke open.
Ah,
Yeah, so they were
okay.
lining a little fracture within the material. But yeah,
Okay.
you would see crystals in these things. Ooh, more yellow patches. Lighter colors generally indicate warmer water. It's going to be interesting getting to the top of this thing.
Quite some
Oh,
dip up
this
there
is
around
just
the
a,
edge.
this is the biggest
Yeah. So how's your
structure I
sonar
have
looking,
ever
Don?
seen. Growing
So
from
we're
hydrothermal
showing,
activity.
hard targets up ahead.
Want to come up
Yep.
a few meters? That football's awfully close.
Yes, indeed.
And
I think it's really
not
just
moving,
a
but I think you
coating
already knew that.
The
Yeah.
rocks, though. It's not, the whole thing isn't surface coating.
Those targets get a little farther away. Yeah. Okay.
It could be in part. I think that's Bob Stern chiming in, thinking this is just a coating, but there's considerable amount of structure along the ridge. What we're seeing right in front of us to the upper right, I agree with Bob, this may be jointed volcanic rock that was intruded underground, cooled underground, and formed cooling cracks. But the hollow that you see right in front of us is, I'm sure that is mainly hydrothermal material. On this dive, we're moving up a ridge that goes
Look like
from
we're
a
ready for
crater
it.
on the southwest
Almost.
side of the summit
Just about
of
to
this
touch down
undersea
here.
volcano
Looks
to
very
the
thin.
rim that circles the
It does.
top of the volcano, and the ridge is probably underlain by what volcanologists call
Ready
a
to zoom.
dike, or a
Okay.
more or
Tilt
less
up a little bit
vertical
like this.
body of massive magma that's intruded underground in the edifice wall, cools underground, and then because that was a crack in the side of the volcano, very frequently you see additional hydrothermal activity around the edges of it or through the cracks within it. But this whole ridge, we have seen a lot of hydrothermal activity on it.
So maximum
What's this
zoom, you
quad
have to tilt
screen
down
back?
to lighten it up.
I have the quad screen here.
Bill is asking.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get the
Bill's
edge
asking
here.
if,
If you get the edge, then it blows out the...
yeah, Roland,
Let's
we're
do
getting
that
a
first,
request
then
to
we can
get the
pull to
quad
back.
screen back.
So I'll tilt and get no edge for the back of it. Is that the... Okay. Turning right. There we go.
We're about 25 meters below the top
Some
of the
fuzzy on the
rim
top right.
around the
Yeah.
center of the top of the volcano.
That's interesting.
How that that structure is there on the upper right-hand side.
The upper right,
Isn't that
that's what I was saying
beautiful?
earlier.
Yeah.